quite a few people asked, how can slime molds have a sense of smell? And the answer is so interesting. It's essentially just this very rudimentary version of our sense of smell. This one single cell, everything that you see here that's bright yellow, is one single cell with millions of nuclei. And this cell is coated in these chemoreceptors that bind to different chemical compounds. And just like our noses, it just senses these chemical compounds, and the cell can determine, based on complex cell signaling and pattern recognition that's all within this one single cell, it can determine if it wants to go toward that thing, that compound that it's smelling or detecting with these receptors that are all over its cell surface, or it can decide if it wants to go toward that thing or away from that thing. There are compounds that attract it, and there are compounds that repel it. So this study, this is a paper where this person was looking into different things that attract it, and on this side here, this is honey. On this, the star is just honey, and it has these receptors that detect glucose, or different sugars. I'm not sure which ones, but it detects glucose in honey, and so it wants that honey in it, and it'll go over to it. But on this side, it had these herbal sleeping pills. I think it was like valerian or something like that, and as this star, and the cell was much more attracted to the valerian than to the honey, and you can kind of tell that. You see this foraging pattern on the side here where it's not very focused, but you can tell it wants the honey, but it's still looking for other things too. This is quite focused. Everything is pointing essentially just straight into this direction, which is funny because it can't eat this. It can eat the honey, it can't eat this. So we're essentially like tricking it with some compound that's in this herb to think that there's something that it really wants in that direction. Or actually, the author of this paper theorized something else, but I can go into that later. It theorized a different mechanism. It's not actually a true attraction. It's like an arresting of some critical functions of the way this thing moves, which is fascinating. But anyway, I digress. So just like our noses, just like the cells in our noses that allow us to detect compounds and allow our sense of smell, this one single cell is just coated in these receptors that allow it to also detect different compounds in the air and have a sense of smell. And it knows what it likes and what it doesn't like, and it will go towards the things it likes. It likes things like sugars and some polysaccharides and stuff, and it does not like a lot of different compounds actually, but one of them being salt. Some caffeine actually is also repellent to it, but absolutely fascinating. This thing has a sense of smell. And you can use that to do different experiments like this one, but then there's also, here, let me, with this picture, you can put two different foods or two different compounds or something on the same dish and see which one it prefers. And you can do these preference tests, these preference experiments, which is so cool. I don't remember what they had on this one, but you can do that with essentially any food source or any compound that you wonder if it's attracted to. So we have these kits where you can grow these different slime molds. So we make these kits where you can grow this slime mold in different environments and different like landscape themes. It's lots of fun. But one of the ones that we want to put out next is one that allows you to do this experiment across a couple of different like pods or something like that, where you can put different food sources in there and see which ones it goes to first and which ones it might just ignore entirely. But it'll be lots of fun.